Hey everybody, this is Modern Refugee. I got some friends and family coming over tonight, and I'm going to put some beef in the crock pot. And it reminded me of something that I wanted to share with you guys. I have talked to a lot of people that have switched from store-bought meat to sort of meat that they buy direct from the farmers, or meat that they raise themselves. And there's always this one complaint that people talk about, and it is the toughness of the meat. When you buy that meat from the store, those animals don't have any muscle tone because they don't move around, they don't have a pasture to move around in, they can't run free in the chicken yard. They're just either in cages or very small confined areas before they're butchered. So the meat is like mush, and it cooks up fast, and it's really soft and all that. But when you raise meat yourself, or you get it from the local farmers like I do here, that meat is typically tougher, so you want to cook it at a lower temperature for a longer period of time, and that is perfect for a crock pot. Another thing is the shapes and the sizes of the meat is different than what you get in the store, because they have to cut those down into proportions however you want when that animal is processed. So there's a couple things I want to show you here. I'm going to turn the camera around while I'm getting this guy ready for tonight's supper. It is morning, so this guy is going to be cooking all day in the crock pot. And here is what I'm putting in the crock pot with this roast here. Before I kind of show you the roast, I got a big bunch of dried thyme from my garden, a couple of bay leaves. I got an onion there that I'm going to slice up, place on the bottom of the crock pot. And then I've got 5 cloves of garlic there, and you typically want at least 1 clove of garlic per pound of meat when you're doing either beef or pork. That's how we like it here. That's about a 4.5 pound roast, because trying to feed a lot of people, about a half pound per person is how you figure that for meat. And this right here is what you're going to see if you get meat directly from the farmer or the slaughterhouse. And you're going to get meat that's wrapped up one way or another, and it's going to have a not for sale on it, because this isn't stuff that's going into the supply chain. This is going directly to a customer. And like the ground beef will be in tubes. They will also have that not for sale on it, as well as if you have venison processed by these places, it will be in a not for sale package. And the liquid that I put in when I do beef roast, I do beef broth. You can do canned beef broth, you can do beef broth you buy at the store, you can do bouillon cubes, whatever you want. And then I add a little bit of balsamic vinegar. You can add red wine too, but I like a little balsamic vinegar, because with these tougher cuts of meat, that little bit of vinegar in there will help break down the meat and make it so tender and very delicious, very much like a red wine would. And then this is kind of the star of the show here. This is the beef, and you can see it's got a bone in it, and you can see it's sort of cut square. That's because this came from a very large animal, and then the pieces were cut down to basically make proportion sizes. And typically what you're going to want to do is you're going to brown it. And this doesn't make a difference whether it's pork or whether it's beef. You want to brown the meat really good on one side. And I will not season this until I flip it and I get that brown crust on it. Because what happens is if you put salt, pepper, whatever on this, it's going to burn. And then, especially if you use like a seasoned salt, and that's kind of the salt that I use on this, it's going to burn and it's not going to allow that crust to form. So I always flip the meat over, let it brown all the way through, and then I add the seasonings on when the meat goes into the crock pot with the other ingredients. Anyway, when I got this guy in the crock pot here, I'll give you guys a little bit of a wrap up. All right, I got my crock pot prepped. I got my onion in the bottom there and a couple of the cloves. Now we're going to just take this guy right out of the pan, and we are going to get him in the crock pot. You can see that nice brown color on there. That is what we want. That's where all the flavor is, and that's why you want to take your time and brown it and make sure you got a good crust on this guy right here. Now comes the seasoning. The first thing I'm going to add in is my balsamic vinegar. Just going to pour a little bit on the roast, and then the rest goes in. Same thing with the beef broth. Pour our beef broth in. And I do it that way so I don't wash off my seasoning. If I put the seasoning on first and then add the liquid, it'll wash off. This way, it will actually help the seasoning stick. And this is my seasoning. It's basically equal parts of seasoned salt and black pepper. And all I do is just kind of generously coat the top of this. So I got a nice amount of seasoning on there. You can see that, what that looks like. That's going to draw in. Now I add my cloves of garlic on the top here so they can roast in. My bunch of thyme, and then got a bay leaf on top, and I'm going to throw one down in the side there. And that is basically all there's to it. Now I'm going to turn this on high because this is a larger piece of meat. I want this to cook through good. So I'm going to put this on high for at least probably 3 hours and then turn it back to low to finish it. It is 10 o'clock in the morning. So I want this done by about 6, 7 o'clock tonight. And about an hour out is when I am going to start my sides. We're going to do some potatoes from the garden and some Brussels sprouts. But anyway, just wanted to show you guys how to take care of these little bit tougher cuts of meat that come from actual farmers and not these big commercial places where the animals don't have any muscle tone. How to take care of the meat so you still got a real tender piece of meat, but it's kind of not the same as you get it at the store. Animals that walk around their entire life like they're supposed to, they're going to have more muscle tone. The meat's going to be a little tougher, and I want to show you guys how to remedy that. But anyway, this is Modern Refugee. Appreciate all my subscribers out there. Hope you guys always get some information, some entertainment out of my videos here, and you guys have a good one.